We have some announcements from the Women in Bus and Coach team now to share with you before our final keynote speeches. So first of all, I'm going to invite up Louise Cheeseman, Chair of Women in Bus and Coach.
So, as I said at the beginning of today's event, one of the things that we are really passionate about is getting more female representation around the boardroom and in exec leadership teams. So our, I think, quite unique opportunity to have somebody spending a year working on our board and actually being a statutory director for a year. They're not making the tea, they're not cleaning the boardroom floor, they're not taking the minutes, they are actually a director, so they are part of the decision making, they're part of the planning, so we're committed to doing this every year. The response and the number of applicants has been phenomenal, and the talent again has been phenomenal, and we ended up interviewing 4. We could have appointed all 4. They were absolutely fantastic, and literally it was a cigarette paper between them all. If we could have appointed them all, we would have done. But today I'm absolutely delighted to say that wherever Metro Line are, you should be incredibly proud, because Nelisha Fernandez, who's your finance business partner, is going to become our Mentee Director for the year. And would you like to just come up and say hello?
Good afternoon, everyone. I did not expect to be here. In fact, when Louise actually called to tell me I was successful, the imposter syndrome kicked in straight away, and I thought it was a mistake, and I might get a phone call back to say, sorry. But no, here I am, and I'm incredibly excited to be part of this, not to be a fly on the wall, to actually have a seat at the table and make a difference in a meaningful way. So I am delighted. Thank you for the opportunity, Louise.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations.
As mentioned earlier, we're going to have regional updates shared with you now. So can I invite up Kaylee Ingham, Catherine Pullum, Bobby Enright and Carol Stevens. You can choose your order. Do you want to go first? There you go.
Yeah, are we all coming up together?
Yes, do come up. You might as well all come up, yeah. Go for it. Go on, Catherine.
So I chair the coach subgroup, and I keep banging on about how coach and bus are very, very different, and I think that's been evident in the progress that we've made this year, because we're quite short of assistance. We have launched a community platform, which was aimed at kind of engaging more of our coaching ladies and potentially men at some point. And we've also discussed kind of taking that out to the frontline team as well, which we think is really important. We've drafted a coach commitment specifically designed at our coach sector, our coach operators, which guides them in how to implement things in their workplace that attract and retain women, toolkits around periods, menopause, female recruitment and women's health. And that gives them something that's tangible, something to action in their workplace. So those are all kind of pending actions. In the coaching industry, the summer is our busiest time. So I think it's fair to say that we have lost a little bit of momentum, being completely honest. And as usual, we need more connection and more engagement with other people who are from coach and willing to come to the table to help support and guide us. So if you have, I know it's really hard to give more time because we're all absolutely stretched, aren't we, with day jobs and taking on more roles like me that are unpaid, as I continue to do. Just keep saying yes. So if you can come to the table with anything, any kind of support that we kind of need on the coaching side, we'd be really grateful. Thanks very much.
Amazing. So me, Carol and Bobby, we co-chair the London region. I can't actually remember when I took over, but it's sometime within the last 12 months I took over from Evie, so thank you, Evie, for giving me this opportunity. So what we've achieved so far, we continue to have monthly virtual meetings. So for anyone who's in the room, isn't part of one of these regions yet, but would like to come and join us, you absolutely can, because most of them are virtual. We have a couple of themes each month. So we try to do a focus on, because there's so many fantastic people in our industry. So far we've had Laura, who's head of facilities for TfL. She came and talked to us about toilets. Absolutely fantastic subject and things you'd never even imagine, but it was brilliant. And given that we spoke about toilets earlier and how challenging that is for the female drivers, I've lost count of the amount of times I've had conversations with unions where I've said, please, no bottles. Women can't do it in bottles, so let's not talk about bottles. We've also had Mentee. So Mentee is, I'll say, he was our one male member of the London region, but he's head of pensions for First Bus. He came and spoke to us about pensions and spoke to us about the pensions gap for women, and that's his why for being part of Women in Bus and Coach. So again, that highlights the importance that there are men in the room and not in the room that actually have some really important things to bring to the table. We, every month, have a book recommendation. I've got loads in my bag, so if you're interested, you can come and have a browse. Loads of post-it notes with things that have happened to me or I've witnessed. Lots to learn. And we focus on period positive workplaces because despite being here, was it 12? It was December, wasn't it? We were at the APPG, at Westminster. Progress can be slow, so it's important that we keep that on the table, isn't it? And we do each month. So we have improved male allies. We've now got 3 members in the London region, but we could do with more. So again, if you're in the London region or not, come join us. We've also had an in-person meeting. So we went to Victoria Coach Station. We had an underground tour, absolutely fantastic. And it was an opportunity that we wouldn't have if we weren't part of this community. It's an important time for connection and for networking. And it gives that something that I think have existed within male peer groups in the industry for a long time that the women in the room may not have been able to be part of. Do you want to?
Thank you very much, Carol. Next steps then for us as the London Region Group, we've been taking a lot of feedback on board and we're going to change up a little bit how we're doing things. We're going to keep some of the core themes, but we're going to change the format a little bit and hopefully that'll work for more people, make it more inclusive and try something different. But we're going to continue to celebrate and do the focus on because I love it. And I think we're definitely learning lots of things. Our colleagues have just got so much to tell us. We learn more about them and we can take away those little bits and pieces. And in the future, if we have questions, we know who we can go to and get more information from. But very excitingly, Carol has just said we have the green light to have an in-person meeting at Stockwell Bus Garage, which for anyone who doesn't know is a listed building. And from the architectural side, it's very exciting, but it's also a bus garage. So there's double reasons to turn up and have a fun explore. And for being in London, there's so many fantastic venues like this that we want to make the most out of and be able to have our meetings there. It means we can be face-to-face, we can get people down, we can actually get to meet some of you. And yes?
Oh, yeah, that probably. So I was also going to say Stockwell is now the location for our operations control centre. So you may have seen it on LinkedIn. It's absolutely state-of-the-art and something that you'd see in a movie, but it is real. So for those of you who might want to come along, I'll show you it.
Yeah, absolutely. And potentially, depending if we can get it all sorted out, but the next thing we want to do is for kind of aiming towards the time of International Women's Day is women behind the wheel and going, some people have never been behind the wheel because they've never been a driver, have not been an engineer, whatever it is. Come and have a go. We'll have a play with some buses and open the doors to that kind of thing as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. I'm going to walk over here and put my iPad down. Is that okay? Not least because I've had a glass of Prosecco. So as lovely as that was, it risked the technology. Okay, so I'm the last one to provide a regional update. I'm Kaylee Ingham, and I'm pleased to be here with you today to provide an update on what we've been up to across the Northern region. We will be 1 on Thursday, so we're 363 days old. And I feel really privileged to chair the Northern region. I dialed into a Teams call nearly a year ago and asked a group of people that I didn't know to entrust me with creating this offshoot region without really knowing exactly what I was letting myself in for. And what we didn't have was any structure, so that's where we started. So we've now got a steerco of people that help us and volunteer and do the side of the desk stuff that really matters day to day for women in this industry. But more than that, we've mobilised, and I've got lots of things to share with you as to what we've done. So alongside supporting the national team for Women in Bus and Coach with some of the initiatives that the ladies have mentioned, period positivity, we have focused on 3 core objectives within the North. And we wanted to ensure that we didn't push ourselves too far, recognising that this stuff happens generally at the side of the desk on evenings and weekends. So our first objective is around belonging and to deepen the sense of belonging within the North for females in bus, coach and community transport. And this is quite an important one for me because I didn't start in bus. I've only been in bus for 2.5 years, but I've got many friends in this room, and some of those people are people that I have my most vulnerable conversations with, and that's because of this network in this room, and that started with Women in Bus and Coach. So I think it's really, really important to focus on the sense of belonging that Women in Bus and Coach can bring to people, and our event structure that is headed up by Cara Wood and the Liverpool City Region franchising team. Can I just give a round of applause to that team? So Anna, Laura, we've got a number of the events team for the North in the room today, and they have worked so hard to put events on across the North for females, and we've ranged that across geographies. So we've done one in Manchester, one in Bradford, one in Newcastle, and our Christmas event will be in Liverpool. So we're only nearly a year in, but we've got we've held 3 already face-to-face events, 1 more to come this year, and we've also had our first virtual event with our next virtual event happening next month. So in terms of our second objective then, that is around access to frontline roles and bringing more women into frontline roles and retaining those women in those frontline roles. And a key part of this is about early careers. We've heard some of the reference to that today. So we've been attending careers panels where possible and industry events to talk to people about what it actually means to have a career in bus, coach and community transport. And one of the key things which I'm looking forward to, which was an idea that started with the Northern region, is a part of the Women in Bus and Coach website, which will put lots of access to careers in one place for anybody, not just for women. But there's a gap in the market. It's really hard to find out what roles are available in this industry. So we've been working with the National Women in Bus and Coach team, and we're very grateful to Stephen and the team, and they're going to create a page on the website. So when we go to careers events, we can QR code it and say, look here, this is all the stuff that you could do. So watch this space for that. And alongside, we're working with Unite the Union. We've partnered with them, and Joe from Arriva in our steerco has headed this initiative up to talk to Unite about the things that are really impacting our frontline colleagues every day. So some of the references that the ladies have made to toilet access, it's a real problem for our frontline colleagues. We've got to get it sorted. So we're working with Unite to do just that. So our last but not least objective, certainly not least, is furthering the industry's focus on diversity in the North. And we're calling upon authorities to attend a roundtable with us to discuss this objective and to a call to action really as to how we ensure that both across franchise environments and enhanced partnership environments that we can make some deeper progress within diversity, irrespective of who the operators are within those geographies. So an invitation will be landing in the inboxes of many authorities in this room next week. The only reason it's not gone already is because this was happening. We were quite busy getting ready for it. So I was told, back off, we need to get ready for the summit. Okay, so I'm going to finish with some figures for you. So I've mentioned we're soon going to be turning 1 in the Northern region. Very proud of that. We've hosted 6 events so far. Invitations next week will go out to 10 authorities. We've had over 100 people at our last event last week in Bradford. It's absolutely amazing. The response has been staggering. And now with Unite's help, we have access to over 2,000 women in frontline roles that we can hear the views of and try to support. So I think that that's pretty amazing for a group of 13 volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm now going to ask Kerry to join me. Yes, she's coming. Excellent. And Kerry is going to tell you a little bit about the goodie bag and the annual report. There you go.
Hi everyone, it's been a wonderful day, so thank you all for joining us here. As is a bit of a tradition, a gift from us to you. You'll be getting your goodie bag when you leave today, so don't leave without it. They will be outside and handed out. But there's one part of this goodie bag which I'm going to talk to you about today, and that is our annual report. This is our new hot off the press annual report, and if you saw the one last year, this is so important to us because we are not a corporate company, we're not a corporation, we are a collection of volunteers reflecting our community, and you all are our community. So this report is here to reflect yourselves. Hopefully you'll see yourselves in here, we have plenty of pictures, and we couldn't do what we do without you. And so the report is written to be something that you can delve into. You don't have to read a 100-page corporate document with lots of words. It's all set out with the different things that we've been up to this year. More detail than you would have seen in the video earlier, which I absolutely love, by the way. And you can dip in and out. And it's a good way to show your colleagues what maybe you'll be getting involved with or that you've seen today or other opportunities. It also sets out some of our future intentions, our strategy, and there's information from all of our regions and contact details. So if you ever want to contact us, it's all in here. I would like to say an absolute massive thank you to Alex Edwards, to Annie Brown, to Wendy, who tries to collect all the information from us throughout the year, and to Leanne Burford, who is our wonderful graphic designer. You've all done an absolutely stunning job, and as Alex said, hot off the press and smells new. So don't forget to take yours home with you today. Thank you very much.
So where will the goodie bags? Outside the door. Goodie bags will be outside the door at the end of today's event. Wonderful. Now I would like to invite up Marina. So, Marina, I can see there's a big banner at the back of the room and you're going to introduce us and tell us about it.
Hi everyone, what a lovely event today, so I won't take much of the time. Lots of things have been heard. It's been very inspiring for me, thank you all. So I'm glad that period positivity has been already mentioned a couple of times before. I'm going to talk to you about that. Last year in this summit, not this summit, in this equivalent summit, Women in Bus and Coach launched the Period Positive campaign. Why did we do that? Because we are still being scared and frightened and a bit ashamed to talk about something half of the population, in this room a bit more, half of the population across the country and everywhere is facing monthly and monthly again. So we've noticed, we took the statistics, we've seen what's happening, and we also made it appealing to the companies. Apart from the cultural inclusion, the inclusive environments, 1 out of 5 people in the UK do not have access to period products. And because of that, almost 17% out of them will decide to do not go to work when they are menstruating. We had a wonderful poem before describing what happens if you're a bus driver or what happens if you're flooding and don't have your support that you're needed. So apart from removing the stigma, trying to remove the challenges around that and focus on an inclusive and more open environment, we started putting actions on it, and we're doing so through a work stream. We meet every month. We have a cross-sectional group working on it. Thankfully, we do have men allies on that, which is amazing. They do ask the awkward questions that they want to ask somewhere. They don't know where to ask them, like, okay, I'm handling the periods that I want to put in the bathroom. What should I be buying? Which is the most important question. So we wanted to put all this in action. First of all, we followed up with the organizations that signed their pledges last year of being period positive. Good news, most of them have already achieved that, more or less. There is always room for improvement. We are collating case studies to help others do the same. We have also run a survey nationwide to get views of which organizations are period positive, which are aware at least of that, and which of them are planning to introduce something in place. We got some interesting feedback, like most of our colleagues are perimenopausal or menopausal, so we don't need that, which takes quite a lot of challenge. Not very obvious for everyone, but guess what? Lots of women might need products in any period of their life. And also, you're an organization. You might have contractors, you might have visitors, you might have people coming in your facilities, you might have new recruits. We've discussed quite a lot today. How do you bring new people in the organization? So what happens if a young woman comes in the organization and doesn't find a facility? That we discussed quite a lot, but also what would happen if in your facility you also had some free period products available? Would that be another tick in their box to maybe think that's an organization to join? So without further ado, I would like to say that we have developed our first version of our how-to guide, which is a very short and concise document. It's only 3 pages long, which organizations that haven't even started the journey, they can take it and start implementing. It's very easy. It starts from scratch. Says, do your research, start small. You can even place a basket with products in the facilities and take it from there. It doesn't have to be too onerous. And we will soon, as next step, start collating a list of trusted suppliers that we can recommend out, follow up with more people, engage more, improve more the how-to guide that we have already developed. We identified that there are lots of areas that we can also focus and take it from there. But to do so, we need your support. So if you already are a period positive organization, well done. Keep an eye, make sure that your facilities are actually having the products that you were hoping that they already do. If you're not, please either come to us and we can help you be one, or even better, get involved, share your feedback, bring your energy, let's spread the word. It's simple as that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And our final guest we met earlier today on one of our panels, talking partnership with a careers body. I'd like to welcome up Rachel Mostyn from the Women's Work Lab.
Hi, everyone. So I just thought it'd be useful to tell you a little bit more about our programmes. So we're a community interest company, so we're not-for-profit, and all of our programmes are funded by the Department for Education, sorry. And the way we work is our mums are in groups of 15. That's a cohort of mums. The mums in that room will have faced multiple barriers to getting back into work. That could be survivors of domestic abuse. They may be new to the UK. They may have experienced home displacement. They may have children with special needs, their own neurodiversity, a multiple of different things. But everyone in that room is united by the fact they want to work. Everyone that joins our programme has expressed an interest in coming to the Women's Work Lab and finding what they want to be their next steps into work. So they come to us and we are face-to-face training in a classroom with a facilitator, and we spend 5 weeks with the mums, 2 days a week, obviously school hours, and we look at all of the barriers that might be the issues of why they're not working. So obviously, number one, it's come up loads of times today, confidence. Also, what would I like to do? We give the women a space to think about themselves as more than just a mum. Obviously, it's never more that, it's never that, is it? But it's that whole thing that we give them a space to think about what it is they would like to do for themselves. So we spend time looking at their strengths. We spend time looking at what they'd like their future to look like. And it's a sort of facilitation space. And the lovely thing is they also make lots of friends along the way. And then the next part of the programme, which is where you lovely people all come in, is all of the mums are matched with an employer to go and do a 4-week work placement. So this is usually 3 days a week, school hours, and it's an opportunity for the mums to spend time back in an industry. Some of them may have experience in your industry. Some of them may have, we had one lady who joined us recently. She was a dentist in her own country, but over here in the UK, she can't find work. So she's an example. You know, we've got incredibly talented women that really want to work, but they almost don't know the way to navigate into industries. So they have a 4-week work placement, then they come back to the Women's Work Lab and we support them with CV writing, interview technique, lots of one-to-one support. We might match them with a mentor of someone if there's a particular industry that they're interested in. And we also run lots of workshops, which also might be interesting for some of you to deliver a workshop to our mums, talking about what it might be to work in bus coach and community transport, for example. At the moment, our programmes are in the southwest of England, so that's Bristol, Weston-super-Mare, South Gloss, Bath, Taunton, Bridgewater, and also, very excitingly, we're just launching up here in Birmingham, so our programmes start in Birmingham in January. So if anyone is interested, my call to action would be to please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Rachel Mostyn. I think I'm in the programme, aren't I? Or look on the Women's Work Lab website. We would love it if some of you may be able to host work placements for our mum. And just from me personally, I'd like to say thanks for having me today. I met Victoria on a train on the way back from Leeds, and she said, oh, you should come and talk at the conference. And here I am. So thanks for having me, and I would love to hear from some of you to support more women back into your fabulous industry. Thank you.
We're gonna backtrack just a little bit.
Sorry.
There was one little bit missed.
Apologies, everyone. I forgot my most important update. You can find this how-to guide in our newly built yesterday only webpage under the Women in Bus and Coach website. Go in there, find the how-to guide, and start using it. Apologies, I forgot my most important part.